Ladies and gentlemen, aloha. This is such an important occasion that the mayor of Maui has left the Maui Invitational Basketball Tournament in order to be here today. This is a very, very significant day for Hawaii and for Japan. I think it is particularly appropriate that we have, somewhat by coincidence, but as a result of continuing negotiations over a period of time, this ceremony today. Mr. Hato was kind enough to mention to me that this is taking place in the wake of the APEC meeting, in which there was a very successful continuation of a proposal and an agreement that was made, which is part of our Memorandum of Understanding today, in which I want to quote in part. The project that we will be signing today that will result from the Memorandum of Understanding was carried out on the basis of discussions held in Japan at the U.S. summit, which again Mr. Hato referenced. This was between then Prime Minister Hatoyama and President Barack Obama of the United States and, of course, of Hawaii in November of 2009. So the APEC meetings followed on that energy summit, if you will, that summit in terms of the energy side of it, including research and development and demonstration. And Hawaii was at the center of it. And we are very, very pleased then that the proposal that we have before us now, as embodied in Article 1, again of the Memorandum of Understanding, has been carried through on, particularly by our friends from Japan, and will be partnered with, we have all these wonderful acronyms now, NEDO and HECO and MECO and I was going to say Huey, Louie, and Dewey will be next. But what they all represent, of course, is institutional and organizational emphasis and focus on clean energy. And as a result, we are going to have 2 or 3 what are called themes with regard to electric vehicle-based remote island smart grid. The effective phrase to remember here is the smart grid. And what we'll be doing then to demonstrate the possibilities for alternative energy and metering and measurements that is the emphasis of the investment here and our participation in it. I am delighted that the New Energy and Industrial Technology Organization, the short term being NATO, and represented here by Mr. Hato, and the partner here for Hawaii, represented by Mayor Arakawa, and the effective partner on the state, represented by Mr. Richard Lim, of course, of the Department of Business and Economic Development and Tourism. There are other officials, I'm pleased to say here, from NEDO and from local power firms and of course, our legislators who have responsibility for our alternative energy program. Made even more important today, perhaps Mr. Hato and others in his entourage may not have seen or had the opportunity to read the very latest reports coming out of Washington, but global warming now has reached a point where the reports coming out say we may be at the tipping point worldwide now, where there can no longer be continuing discussions about what to do about climate change and global warming, but an absolute necessity to act on a worldwide basis, and that everyone has to make that commitment. We here in Hawaii, Mr. Hato, believe me, we understand very, very well what the requirements for our survival are. And the fact that another island people is partnering with this island people to take up our responsibilities and role here in the Asia-Pacific area is something for which we are very, very grateful. We undertake this Memorandum of Understanding, I assure you, with the full knowledge and understanding of its implications for us and for Japan, that you are willing to make this investment in time, in funds, in personnel, and in philosophy is something for which we are very, very grateful. And you may rest assured, and here I speak for all the people of Hawaii, obviously including the mayor and our administration, our legislature, when I say you may rest assured that you have the full commitment of the people of Hawaii to work with you and to be supportive of this endeavor. So at this point, I would like to ask Mr. Hato to come forward and perhaps give not just an explanation, but an indication of what we can expect from NATO and what he expects from us in turn. Thank you very much.
Abercrombie 知事、そしてご列席の皆さん、私、ネドのプレゼントのハトと申します。
Governor Abercrombie and all those who are here, I am President of NEDO, Mr. Hato.
APEC 首脳会議の成功に続きまして、本日ここにハワイ州におけるスマートグリッド実証プロジェクトの基本協定書を皆さんの前で署名できることを大変嬉しく思っております。
I would like to express my gratitude to Governor Abercrombie and Mr. Lim and all those people of Hawaii for preparing this signing ceremony right after the completion of the very important and successful APEC meeting.
アバクロンビー知事はもちろんのこと、リム局長をはじめとして、ハワイ州政府産業経済観光局の皆様には、このAPEC 首脳会議でご多忙であったにもかかわらず、本日の署名式を準備をしていただきました。そして知事に今回、私どもお招きをいただきましたことを、ネド、それから今日は日立製作所の関係者も参っておりますけれども、日本のメンバーを代表して、心から御礼を申し上げます。ありがとうございます。
Okay. Governor Abercrombie and also Mr. Lim and the debate, and I'm sure you have worked very hard on APEC meeting. And right after that, following that important meeting, that we are able to hold a signing ceremony. And I'd like to express my sincere appreciation for all the preparation. Okay. And on behalf of all the participants, that I'd like to express my appreciation to all of you.
この実証プロジェクトは2009年11月の日米首脳会談で合意をされました日米クリーンエネルギー協力、それから昨年6月の沖縄とハワイのクリーンエネルギー協力、これらに基づいて実施されるものであります。日米協力の重要なシンボルであります。
This demonstration project is the result of the agreement made between the leaders of the United States and Japan in November of 2009, that's the Japan-U.S. Cooperation on Clean Energy Technologies. And as well as the June of last year in Okinawa, there was the agreement was established. That's the Hawaii-Okinawa Partnership on Clean and Efficient Energy Development and Deployment. So this will be the symbol of Japan and U.S.'s cooperation.
このような重要な意義を持つ実証プロジェクトに私たちがハワイ州政府の関係者の皆さんはもちろんのことですけれども、ハワイ電力、ハワイ大学、マウイ郡、マウイ電力、こうした皆さんと一緒に参加できることは私にとりましての大きな喜びでありますとともに大きな誇りでもあります。
To work on this important project and together with the Hawaii government and also HICO and University of Hawaii Natural Energy Institute and Maui County and MICO. Okay, this is our great honor and also proud to be able to work with all of you. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all of those who are involved.
本日ここにご出席のすべての皆さんにご理解をいただいていること、それからご協力をいただいていることに改めて心から御礼を申し上げたいと思います。ありがとうございます。
I'd like to again express my sincere appreciation to all of you who are here and all of taking a important part of this project.
アバクロンビー知事の下で、クリーンエネルギーの目標を立てて、積極的に取り組んでおられることはよく承知をしておりますし、そうした取り組みに加えて今回の実証プロジェクトは世界でも最先端の離島のスマートグリッドを作り上げていくということですから、これはアジア太平洋地域だけではなくて世界にとってのモデルとなるプロジェクト、そういうものを目指すものであります。
With the Governor Abercrombie's leadership that the people in Hawaii are working hard to achieve the clean energy goal, and since Hawaii being a remote island, this is not just the leading technology to demonstrate in the world, but then we can become the model for the all over the world.
日本の最新技術をフルに活用していただいて、今後の実証プロジェクトを進めていくことによって、私たちはハワイ州のポジションを世界のクリーンエネルギーのマーケットプレイスにおけるハワイ州のポジションを引き上げていくということに大いに貢献したいと思っております。
As make use of the Japan's new clean energy technology, we would like to, by working on this project, that we would like to contribute to the Hawaii's achieving its goal and also elevate the Hawaii's position in the global clean energy marketplace.
またハワイ州政府におかれましても財政が非常に厳しい状況だとは存じますけれども、クリーンエネルギー、特に電気自動車へのご支援をよろしくお願いしたいと思います。
Even though while that the Hawaii is facing the very various financial difficulties, but I ask you to give a full support, continuous full support on the electric vehicle program.
なお実証プロジェクトを進めていくにあたっては何と申しましても現場となるマウイ島の方々のご理解とご協力が不可欠であります。そのために今後ともハワイ州政府はもちろんのこと、荒川郡長をはじめとするマウイ郡のご支援、電力会社、企業、大学の皆さんのご協力をよろしくお願いいたしたいと思います。
To complete this demonstration project, that we cannot do this without the cooperation of the people of Maui, so their understanding and their cooperation and their support. So we appreciate that Mayor Arakawa and the HICO, MICO, and the university and the private corporation for working together with us.
アバクロンビー知事、そしてご出席の皆さん、我が国が今年の3月ですけれども、未曾有の災害に見舞われましたときに、日本政府に対して、ハワイの皆さんを代表して、アバクロンビー知事とシャツ副知事は、心温まる思いやりと連帯のメッセージ、プロクラメーションをお寄せくださいました。
I would like to express one other important thing. As you all know that the last March, Japan had experienced the unprecedented damage and a tsunami and earthquake. But after that, we have received just many letters and the words of encouragement, and especially that the proclamation was sent by Governor Abercrombie and Lieutenant Governor Schatz. That just really moved us, and we again thank you for that.
その寄せられたメッセージには、アロハとマラマとコクアのスピリットとございました。
In that proclamation, there were very important words: Aloha, Malama, and Kokua.
そして私も今日まさにそのアロハ、マラマ、コクアのスピリットに包まれている、そういうふうなことをこの場で実感をしています。
And right now, I feel that I am surrounded by these spirits: Malama, Aloha, and Kokua.
この実感をこれからも大切に自分の中でも育みながら、今回の実証プロジェクトの成功と、本日ここにご出席の皆さんのますますのご健康とご繁栄を心からお祈り申し上げて、私のご挨拶とさせていただきます。ご清聴ありがとうございます。
I'd like to keep this warm feeling I have in myself and to nurture it. And with that spirit, I wish and hope that this project will be successful. And I wish all of you's health and prosperity. Okay, thank you very much.
どうもありがとうございました。
Stay here for a moment, Kate. With that, I'd like to ask Mayor Arakawa to come up and perhaps make some closing remarks for this portion of the ceremony and the procedure, representing, of course, the people of Maui.
Thank you very much. We really do appreciate Governor Abercrombie's inviting us here to this ceremony, and we also would like to mention the Consul General from Japan, Mr. Kama, is here as well, and Mr. Hato, President of NATO. It's for us, when we're looking at what we need to be able to accomplish, we are an island state isolated from the rest of the world by huge oceans, and we have such great potential for alternative energies. We have to be able to harness those alternative energies and to be able to incorporate it into a power that's sufficient to drive all of the electrical needs and the automobile needs of the state of Hawaii and the people living here. This experiment that we are working on will allow us to be able to gain the information we need to be able to network the entire Hawaiian communities to be able to see cost savings and security for our future. So we're very, very grateful that everyone is working in a spirit of cooperation. The state, the county, all of the various companies, Hawaiian Electric Company, Maui Electric Company, all the stakeholders, Maui Economic Development Board, we've all agreed, we've come together and we've agreed that we need to be working together toward the same objective. As been pointed out at the recent APEC conference, the United States is going to become very, very much involved with needing to be able to expand our horizons to those of the Asian Pacific countries and to be able to have cooperative ventures with all of these countries, indeed the rest of the world. As we become more internationalized, we are going to have to share all of our assets, all of our knowledge, and all of the world's assets and knowledge for us to be able to advance. If not, we will all fail miserably. This project is a clear demonstration of how a good governor, good companies, good community members can get together and utilize each other's assets to the best potential. And we're looking forward to a great spirit of cooperation. We know that this experiment will succeed. We know that we will and we must do what we can with alternative energies and convert the state to an alternative energy state whereby we are not dependent on foreign oil for our energy needs, whether it be electrical or gas. So we're very thankful, and we want to just tell everybody that this is our goal, this is our mission, and we will not fail. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alan. Thank you very much, Alan. Now, you've heard the three of us state with varying degrees of emphasis the smart grid demonstration project and Hawaii as a test bed. For the administration, there are two people who are intimately familiar with exactly how this all came about and what we intend to accomplish. There are others in the room, of course, equally prepared to comment on it for the information of the broader public. But I would like very much for Richard Lim and Mark Glick to come up now and give you some remarks with respect to what we can expect from the project and what its boundaries are and what we're looking forward to. Richard, of course, is the head of DBED, and Mark is the point person for the state of Hawaii on alternative energy. Both of them are doing outstanding work in this area. They're devoting both their professional time and I can tell you for a fact, their personal commitment is 100% on this. I couldn't be more proud and happy to have as, in effect, the spokesperson for our participation in the project, Mark Glick and Richard Lim.
Thank you, Governor. Before we begin, I'd just like to say that this project has been the culmination of countless hours of work, and we really want to express our appreciation to our partners at NEDO who have come through despite the tragedy in Japan. It's just amazing that they maintained the project on schedule. And before we proceed with any explanation, I'd like to just acknowledge a few people in the room who have you know, this project has so many partners and so many people that have been helpful, an integral part of the project. And there's a few in the room that I need to acknowledge. And first of all, it's Hideyuki Ariyasu of Hitachi, Ed Reinhardt from Maui Electric, Colton Ching from Hawai'i Electric, Rick Rochelo from HNEI. And Rick, would you please come up and stand with us? Rick's been instrumental in this project, and he's really the expert. Jeannie Skog from Maui Economic Development Board. Mark Glick, of course, our energy administrator. Senator Kalani English. Representative Denny Kaufman. And Representative George Fontaine. And thank you all for your participation and assistance in this project. And now, our new energy administrator, Mark Glick, will give you a brief description of the project, and Rick Rochelo will assist with any technical questions.
May I say that as Mark comes up, that he's prepared to take all the blame if anything goes wrong, and the rest of us are prepared to take all the credit.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much. No, this is a very exciting project. It really has been the culmination of nearly a year's work and all of the parties involved. Smart grid is the future. It's the way that you can create greater efficiency in a grid, and particularly in our island environment. It becomes a huge part of stabilization and long-term modernization. So with that, the fact that there will be roughly 200 locations where smart meters will reach out to electric vehicles, commercial and residential locations to gather information and hopefully give us good ideas of how you can better regulate a grid environment in the future is a very exciting prospect. So that's really the general aspect of what this demonstration project will do. Hitachi is a leader in the manufacture and assembly of these smart meter devices and is providing enormous technical resources. And of course, Maui Electric Company is actually organizing all the distribution directly to the final user that will have the smart meters installed, and we will collect information over the next number of months and be able to report back on how this works in a smart grid community format. So is there anything else that you'd like to add, Rick, in terms of the greater aspects of this? I think one of the things that Rick always mentions is that this project is going to give us a greater sense of how to modulate frequency into the system as opposed to some other smart grid projects that have been testing other components. So we're excited by the project, and if you have any further questions, please ask.
As you can tell, I'm very well prepared for this today. I think my main point would be I can see a few people from HNEI over there and certainly a few utility people over here who are really the experts on what's going on this. I think my one general comment was this really does take another step forward as Hawaii being a test bed for the Pacific region. And I think what's really important about this project is when you look at photovoltaics and electric vehicles, those really are an opportunity to change the game in Hawaii in the way energy is used and controlled in the system. And so I think from that point of view, this is really a unique project and one of very high value. And if there are questions that are technical, I may try to answer them, but I may also call on a couple of people that are in the room who are really the experts in this area. Thank you.
And with that, Mr. Hado, I think we'll come. We'll put this one here, like so. Very good. There we are.